Well, hello there, folks. I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith here with FSU weather. Looking at the temperature right now, you're seeing 78 degrees, and you're thinking to yourself, why is it so cool out? Well, we did have some scattered thunderstorms and some strong wind come through our area. Cool things off just a bit. 78 for this time of year is very cool. It's not what you typically see, but all these clouds and thunderstorms in our area really cooling things off. You do see some of these clouds and thunderstorms in our weather stamp camera. If we look at our radar right now, you did see some of those intense showers over Tallahassee pass through. There were some lightning embedded in those. We do have some stronger showers westward of Tallahassee as of now, but those are going to start to wind down as the night goes on. And we've been seeing a lot of this shower activity due to this frontal system that's stalled out over our area. This is going to continue for about tonight into tomorrow, and this is going to move out, and we're going to start to see typical patterns. And as we look at our 3-day forecast, you go back to seasonal averages for temperatures and rain chances. And coming up on today's show, we'll have your full forecast and talk about more of the record temperatures we've seen around the country. So let's give it off to Sloan.
We're going to bring it home and start off local. As Dylan already said, it's 78 degrees with some scattered thunderstorms, and when the winds sort of calm down now, the thunderstorms have sort of passed. As I just saw, it's clearing up in the parking lot here. Your temperatures right now, 78 in Tallahassee, 85 in Perry. You can see that it is cooler here due to the rain that just went through. Other areas such as Apalachicola and Valdosta haven't had rain roll through their area yet today. The dew point, which is the temperature at which dew forms, is about average what we've been seeing this week and last week, 76, 72, 73, so mostly mid-70s for our region. So if we combine the temperature and the dew point, we get our heat index, which is our feels like temperature. So you can see 81 in Tallahassee, which is pretty close to what it actually is outside since we did have that rain roll through. 91 in Valdosta and 95 in Apalachicola. So these places where the rain hasn't reached yet are hotter than their actual temperature. Satellite and radar, you can see that the storm that just rolled through did have some lightning attached to it. It's sort of surrounding the I-10 corridor in Tallahassee, and you can see that counterclockwise rotation due to the stalled front that's in our region right here, which is causing these storms, this rain to roll through our area. But this front is supposed to weaken going into this tomorrow and later this week. So our wind speed and direction, again, you can see that wind speeds are a bit calmer in Tallahassee at 9 miles per hour, Quincy calm, and then higher winds in Monticello and St. Mark's. Again, mostly following that counterclockwise rotation of a low pressure system. Tonight, you can see that we're going to be 74, mostly cloudy, calm winds, so it's going to clear up going into tonight. When you wake up tomorrow morning, 74, and then by 11 a.m. it's going to shoot up to 86, so make sure that you're hydrated going into tomorrow. And then 3 p.m., 90 degrees, and we are going to have that typical summer weather rolling through with thunderstorms and rain. So again, going into tonight, you can see that we're clearing up, but there is some cloud cover. And then going into 24 hours now, we are going to flare back up, and Tallahassee is going to have showers and thunderstorms rolling through the area. Starting with your 7-day forecast, we're going to see that Wednesday, we have a 50% chance of rain, which is back to normal for this time of year. Rain chances are going to decrease going into the weekend since that front is supposed to weaken. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have that decreased chance of rain and 90 degrees again. We're going to pass it off to Colby.
Hey, thanks, Sloan. Now let's take a look at the southeast. We'll actually take things a little further out. And looking at the southeast, it's really a tale of two southeast areas. We look out west, we're almost back up to 100 degrees there in Dallas, sitting at 98, 92 down in Houston, 90 down in Corpus Christi. So this is actually a little bit cooler than what we've been used to. We had a lot of triple-digit heat across the Lone Star State over the last several days. I'll talk about why that is here in just a second. 96 over in Shreveport, 89 there in Little Rock. And then as we get things closer to home, 78 in Tallahassee. So we have that rain-cooled 78, and then down I-10 toward Jacksonville, they're sitting at 83. Dew point values, a lot of moisture coming up off the Gulf of Mexico into places like Tallahassee. They're set at 76-degree dew point here, 74 there in Montgomery. But notice how out to the west, things are a little bit drier, and we have that stationary boundary, so a lot of drier air being able to come back into these locations. 64-degree dew point there in Little Rock, 56 there in Shreveport. But then we start to have that onshore flow back out of the Gulf onto land there at Corpus Christi. Notice that 80-degree dew point there. That's reflective with the heat index values, those dew points and those actual temperatures. We're about 99 there, that real field temperature there in Dallas. So not as much moisture as they've had. Those were way up there as far as triple-digit heat there. 99 though in New Orleans. They're getting a little bit more moisture there, making things feel rather uncomfortable in that part of the southeast there. But bringing it closer to home, only 81 degrees for that heat index here in Tallahassee. Thankfully, we had that shower that has moved through and really gave us some relief. There's that stationary boundary I was talking about. Notice back behind it places like Mississippi, Louisiana, drier air coming back in. All those showers are remaining well offshore there in the Gulf of Mexico, off the coast there of Houston. But then as we bring things closer to our neck of the woods, notice how this stationary boundary starts to head back off to the north and east through the Carolinas and Georgia. And it's allowing a lot of that onshore flow there for the Sunshine State, and then even back up into the Carolinas. A lot of moisture that's getting really thrown even as far as up into the northeast. Michael will talk about that here in a couple minutes. Where those surface winds really reflecting what we've seen. We're really calm right here in Tallahassee and very variable. Notice how these winds out of the north bring in that dry air I was talking about, and then a lot of the moisture coming in Houston and then Corpus Christi, but that stationary boundary helping keep things very calm as far as precip, keeping that well off the coast. Over tonight, we'll start to see those sea breeze storms that we're experiencing from Pensacola back to the east. They'll start to die out. You can notice that there as we go into about 4 a.m. and then as we start your Wednesday, you go into school, go into work. Things will remain rather calm, but then as we go into the afternoon, we'll start to see that convection really pumping back up, especially from Mobile, Pensacola, down I-10. And notice again, like what we've seen today, it'll be a complete same pattern that we've seen today thanks to that stationary boundary. Tonight, dropping down to 70 in Jackson, not much relief over in Corpus Christi, 79, 75 there in Houston. And then for tomorrow, we're right back at it. Look, 100 degrees there in Dallas, 99 there in Shreveport, so the heat returns. Almost a repeat of what we've seen today. And now we're going to take things out nationally with Michael to take a look at a bigger picture there.
Yeah, thanks, Colby. For the national picture, we've been in a very stagnant pattern over the last few days. Nothing has been really changing much because we have a ridge in the west and a trough in the east. A lot of cooler air has been filtering into the eastern sections of the country, and you can notice it by the temperatures. 84 in Chicago, 88 down towards Memphis. That's a treat for July. Out towards the west, we are under hotter air, and there are some excessive heat warnings and advisories. We're going to get into that in just a second. Now, the dew points, if you're east of the Rocky Mountains, it is very muggy and very humid outside. A lot of dew points well into the 60s and in some cases well into the 70s as well. 76 in Tallahassee and 73 in Washington, D.C. Now, the pattern right now, we have this ridge in the west. That's a lot of the shower activity is due to the typical monsoon in the southwest. Out towards the east, we're in this trough right now, and that's basically enhancing the flow off the Atlantic. So if we zoom into the southeast right now, you'll notice that you can see that front is where we have a lot of focusing of those showers and thunderstorms. But notice the flow being counterclockwise around this upper level low just north of Tallahassee. A lot of the enhancement of the showers are in Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas because of that low. Up towards the northeast, with that flow coming off the Atlantic, it's been a very persistent rain and thunderstorm activity for the I-95 corridor and into the interior sections of the northeast. As a result, we have a lot of flash flood watches and warnings. It's been a very wet late spring and early summer for the northeast, so any rain that they do get is just going to exacerbate those flooding concerns. So you can see out towards central Pennsylvania, that is a flood warning up till Friday afternoon, and then we have a lot of flash flood watches in the surrounding areas. Out towards the west, a lot of the shower activity is due to monsoon, but where you're not getting the shower activity, it is very hot. However, if you do get the shower activity, you have to deal with some flooding concerns, mainly because of the soil type and also the higher terrain. So it's very easy for flooding to occur. You can see all these red boxes. Those are flash flood warnings, and we do have flash flood watches in place. But if you don't have the rain to cool you down, it is very hot. With that ridge in southern Texas moving west, we are well into the triple digits in a lot of these desert southwest, and that's going to continue for the rest of the work week down there. Now for tomorrow, we do have a front situated in the northern plains, and that's going to cause the severe weather threat to move a little bit to the east, so a slight risk down there. For tonight, pretty nice and cool conditions in the interior portions in the High River Valley, and for tomorrow, similar story to today, cooler across the east, hot in the desert southwest and southern plains. Let's send off to Dylan with Florida.
Hey, we're not as hot as other places around the U.S., but we are still feeling very hot. Though here in Tallahassee, We're the only spot right now with some shower activity, 78 degrees, cooling off just a bit in the rest of the east coast of Florida. Seeing clearer skies. We're going to look at those showers move eastward off the coast. So you're going to see a really cool picture. And now I think we should start a petition to really call our state the moisture state, because look at these dew points, 78 degrees here in Tallahassee, 76 degrees in Fort Myers. It's just a lot of moisture, and we haven't seen a lot of relief. With this frontal system, we really didn't see much relief, and we're not going to expect any relief in the next couple of days. With moisture just sticking around, and when you take the moisture and the temperature, you combine it, you have what the feels like temperature is, the heat index, and we see 96 degrees out in Pensacola, 99 degrees in Fort Myers, 94 in Miami. It's just warm throughout the entirety of the state, feeling very, very hot. Just make sure you stay hydrated wherever you go throughout the state. As we look at our satellite and radar, you do see that counterclockwise motion, and you can see the stronger winds coming out of the western part, pushing those showers eastward off the coast, and you're seeing a lot of the stronger shower activity off the Gulf, off in the Atlantic. Some strong storms, though, on the East Coast, but most of the activity staying eastward. And the western part of the Florida Panhandle staying very, very dry. The farther you go north, though, we do have some stronger shower activity. That's where that low pressure system is currently located. As we look at our drought monitor, we're going to get a new one on Thursday. We've seen improvements throughout the region, and we're going to see more improvements in kind of a steady pace. We saw a lot of rain this past weekend, really going to help the drought conditions here. And as we look at our forecast, we see the typical pattern dying down of the showers as we go into tonight, and then into tomorrow. These showers flare back up, and it's another rainy day. Make sure you grab your raincoat. Make sure you're prepared for these thunderstorms. It's just short thunderstorms are typical here in Florida, so not much anything out of the ordinary. Returning back to natural patterns as that low pressure system moves off the coast. As we look into tonight, though, thunderstorms are still possible throughout most of the state. Typical pattern, but as that daytime heating comes down, you see the less chance of showers as we go on. And then through tomorrow, again, another similar story. Rain showers throughout the state and heat throughout it as well. Seeing 86 degrees in Tampa, a little cooler. Where you get those showers, you might cool off just a bit like we saw in Tallahassee today, but not a good cool. It's still kind of a moistury cool. So now let's give it off to Sloan for a local look.
We're going to bring it back home to the Big Bend area. Again, a little past 6 o'clock. We have scattered thunderstorms and calm winds, 78 outside. Temperatures in our area, about the same they were when we started the show, 78 in Tallahassee, 85 in Perry, 88 in Apalachicola. Warmer down here since these areas haven't reached that storm that's moved through our area yet. And up north, Valdosta and Thomasville in the low mid 80s due to lack of rain in that area. Our dew points, which is the temperature at which dew forms, average for this time of week, as Dylan says, we've seen a lot of moisture this past week. 78 in Tallahassee, 73 in Perry, so sticking to the mid 70s for our region. And then when we combine our temperature and the dew point, you get what it feels like outside. Tallahassee sticking close to its true temperature, 78 at 81. Apalachicola and Perry, very warm, no relief in sight for them currently. And then 91 in Valdosta and 85 up there in Thomasville. Here again with our wind speeds, you can see that counterclockwise rotation is associated with a low pressure system since we do have that stalled front in our area. Heavy winds along the coast at St. Mark's, and then lighter winds you move inland to Quincy and Tallahassee. Here's that rotation I was talking about and the lightning that is associated with the thunderstorm and rain showers that have moved through our area. And then here you can see tonight's forecast. It's going to be a bit cooler outside, so if you're going to go outside, do it when the sun sets. 72 in Tallahassee, 75 in St. Mark's. So a bit warmer down at the coast. And then tomorrow's forecast, we have a high of 88 in Tallahassee and mostly high 80s for our region. Bainbridge seems to be the only place going over 90. Forecast going tonight, you're going to see it's going to clear up a bit, and we do have some cloud cover. But then again, starting tomorrow early morning, early evening, we're going to see it flare back up a bit, and by tomorrow we're going to have those rain showers moving in. So now we're going to start with our 7-day forecast again, and you're going to see those showers decreasing, the chances decreasing going into the weekend. We have 50% in Tallahassee, 50% again Thursday, Friday 40%, and then Saturday and Sunday 40 and 50%. And then Monday is going to, so Sunday to Tuesday is going to increase again, and then we might have some relief in sight this weekend. So if you are going to go outside, I'd recommend doing that this weekend. Lows mostly in the mid 70s. And then again, no relief in sight with that moisture with our dew points probably sticking around that 70-degree range. If you want to check out our social media, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at FSU Weather and YouTube/FSU Weather. Again, we live stream Monday through Thursday at 6 o'clock, and it's on Channel 4 and YouTube.com. Be sure to send us pictures of whether you see sunsets, extreme showers. We've had a few shelf clouds moving through the area, so that'd be greatly appreciated. Again, with FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes reminding you to have a great night.